Hello everyone, this is Rahul Malhotra from SFDC Stop and welcome to another video tutorial in simplifying the callouts in Salesforce tutorial series. So in the last tutorial what we did, we actually connected two orgs and we actually performed three callouts in a single transaction. So I actually created a class named as org connect service, which was having a method named as create account and contact. And what this method was doing, it was actually calling out to this org, customer Ruby org, from my Java inspiration org, and it was creating a contact and an account, and it was linking both the contacts and accounts, and it was returning this whole in the response in the third call out. So we've actually performed three call outs one by one. The first call out was related to creating an account, and the second call out was responsible for creating a contact and linking it with the account, and the third call out was actually performing the query, I mean querying the contact along with the related account. So in this tutorial, what we are going to learn that how we can create a test class for such a complex case when we have three callouts in a single transaction or even more than that. And that too we'll be doing without creating a mock class because we have HTTP callout framework. Okay, so let's begin. Before going to the test class, I just want to show you a demo. Like if I have a contact, let's say I want to create a contact named as test contact 35 and my account name as test contact 37. So I can just execute it once and I'll see that these accounts and contacts will be created in my org. So we can see the debug. We have the account and the contact created and I'm able to query both. So let's check it out very quickly here also in our source org. So my test contact 35 is created, 37 is created, and they are both linked. However, this org is different, which is customer Ruby org, and the org from which I was calling out is different, which is Java inspiration org, right? Okay, so let's have a look at our test class now. So in our test class, I have named the test class as org connect service test, and this test class has four methods mainly. The first method is create account and contact test, which is actually covering all the positive scenarios. And the second method is covering the scenario when we get wrong response from the first callout, that is from the account callout. The second, I mean, third method is covering the scenario when we get wrong response from contact callout, and the fourth method is covering a scenario when we get wrong response from the query. So, I mean, let's have a look at the first method only, first of all, and we'll see how much coverage we can get from this method, right? So in this method, what we did, first of all, we started the test and we started creating individual mocks. So these individual mocks will be required for individual callouts because let's say we are going to perform three callouts. So I have created three instances of HTTP callout service mock, and each instance is different. Like first of all, I created contact mock. So this contact mock is actually having create success code and contact response in the response. So I have told you in the previous tutorial that whenever we create an instance of HTTP callout service mock, we need to pass two values in the constructor. The one is the response code and second is the response body. So here the response code is create success code, which is nothing but 201, as you can see here it is. And if I talk about contact response body, so it is nothing but the body of the response. So I know that my contact ID will start with 003, so I have just added a dummy ID here, and I have set up the mock response, which will be similar to this, right? And if I talk about the account mock, so it is also similar. It is a new instance of HTTP callout service mock. It has a create success code which is similar, which is 201, and the account response is also similar. The only difference is that the ID is starting with 001. And the third is contact query mock. So contact query mock will should have a query response, so its success code is different because when we query Salesforce actually, so it is having a response code of 200, and the response body is query response. So the query response is nothing but a dummy body for a response which you are getting in the contact. So if you remember when I showed you the responses from the three APIs, then the contact response was similar to this total size and then records in an array. So I have just added a same format here so that I can create a fake response, and I have taken care of small things like the contact ID should be the same, which was created before, and also the contact name is the same. Like here, the contact name is test contact one, and if I talk about the account name, then the account name is test account 1, and below I'll be sending these names only when I'll be calling out actually. So when I'll be actually performing a call out, then I'll send test contact 1 and test account 1 to be created, right? So let's move ahead. First of all, I created three mocks for my three different callouts, and then I need to, club these all callout mocks into one. So what I did, I have another class named as HTTP callout service multi-mock. So this multi-mock service is enabled to club all the, I mean, a number of callouts into a single multi-mock class, right? So this multi-mock class has add callout mock method, in which you need to first pass the endpoint URL in the first parameter and the mock in the second parameter. So in the first parameter, I passed the endpoint URL. So for to get the endpoint URL, what I did, I actually created an instance of HTTP callout service and passed my custom metadata name, which I was using in the previous tutorial. So I just got the endpoint URL, the base endpoint URL from this metadata, and I appended slash s object slash account after this metadata. Similarly, I appended slash s object slash contact in case I'm going to perform a contact request and set up a contact mock. And in the same way, I appended slash query question mark and the whole query, which is select name account name from contact, where ID is equal to the contact ID that I was using above, right? And I actually added contact query mock with this, because this was the response that I want to give. This is a fake response that I want to give in case I have a query to this particular endpoint URL, and the query is also same. So I mean, even if you check the actual class, let me show you that. In that case also, the query will be exactly the same like we are using here. So the query is exactly the same. So I just need to make sure that the endpoint URL that I'm using is the actual endpoint URL that Salesforce is going to hit when we are going to perform a call out, and it will automatically set the mock to that particular endpoint URL that we are giving, right? Then we use a standard class, which is test.setMock, to set our multi-mock. So the first parameter is always the same, which is http calloutmock.class. It is a predefined class in Salesforce. And the second callout is second parameter consists of multi-mock instance. And then we performed those two. I mean, then we executed those two lines that we were executing in our debug log also. Sorry, anonymous window also, just for performing the call out. So the test contact 1 and test account 1 was given so that these can be created. And finally, I verified the response. So how I verified the response? I just checked the return value map, because if you remember the previous tutorial, we were getting return value map in the from this method. So I just checked the return value map success should have a value of 1, which is the success code. So if I check the success code above, it is 201. Yeah, sorry, it should have a value of 201. And if I check the message, then it should be equal to success message. So the success message should have a value of uh, just give me a second. Success code and success message. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, oh sorry, I'm not actually using it from here. This is defined in OR Connect service. So if I quickly open OR Connect service, yeah, that is why I was confused that why we are checking 201. It should be 1. Yeah. So in case the success we have a successful call out, then in my return value map, success should have a value of OR Connect service dot success code, which is nothing but 1, because we were sending 1 in the response map. And if we have a successful call out, then the message should have a value of OR Connect service dot success message, which will say that all the requests are successful. And in case nothing is I mean something is not working, I'll show a message that success should be OR Connect service dot success code, and message should be OR Connect service dot success message. So I'm just going to execute this as class, and I'll show you how much coverage we are getting from this method alone, right? So let's click on run test once, because this method will cover all the positive scenarios, so it will cover the maximum coverage that we can have. So if I move to this method only, the method name is create account and contact test. So let's choose that, create account and contact test. Okay. So we can see that we are getting 76% coverage through this method only, and it is covering all the positive scenarios. Only the negative scenarios that are there are not covered here, right? So we can see that by using the framework only within, let's say, 40 lines of code along with the asserts and comments, we can actually create a test class for three or more callouts that are happening in a synchronous mode. So this is how easy it is to create a test class for multiple callouts without creating a mock class. So let's begin ahead. Now we need to cover the negative scenarios as well. So if I see the code, the first negative scenario I have when my account is not created successfully. The second negative scenario is when contact is not created successfully, and the third negative scenario is when I was not able to query the contact along with the related account. Right. So I have created three methods. The first method is checking if the account is not created successfully. So this method will again create an account mock, and it will pass the query success code and the account response in the parameter. So notice here that I am passing query success code in the parameter so that my response will give me query success code instead of uh, create success code in the response. So this response code will not match, and I'll get to the else condition, because if I check here and the account success create response, I'm checking if the response code is 201 or not, and if it's not, I'm getting into the else condition, right? So this response will be checking. I have set up my mock with query success code, so this condition will be false because query success code is 200, and I'll be getting into else, and I'll cover this. So I just checked, I performed a call out, and this time I used the test.setMock to set my single mock only, because I know I'll be getting a wrong response from here, and this will return from the whole method, so I'll not move ahead. So I don't need any multi call out here. And I just checked that my error code should be there in the value of success, and the message should have account error message. So this is the same error code and message that I'm setting in my actual service. So this is the error code and this is the account error message, right? Okay, so if I move ahead, similarly in case of response contact, here I need to use multi callout service, because I need to multi-mock callout. I mean, this is because the first callout, which is to the account callout, that will be successful. Then only I'll get here, and here I'll show an error, right? So I use two mocks, account mock and contact mock. In account mock, I have given the create success code, which is perfect. In the contact mode, I have again given query success mode. However, I should give create success mode here because I want to get an error here. So I set the endpoint URL for both the callout mocks, and I have set the multi mock class, and I performed the callout, and I checked that my error code should be the success should have a value of error code, and the message should have a value of contact error message, because this is what I am setting up here: error code and contact error message, right? And in the final callout, what I did to get an error here, so I again need to use multi mock callout. So I have again created all three mocks with two having the success code perfect, and in the contact query mock I should have query success code here, but I am using create success code because in that case it will go into the else condition, because it is not 200, it is 201, and it will send me an error code and a contact query error message. So I'm just checking after the callout that I should have an error code and a contact query error message. And when we actually clicked on run test and we checked the overall coverage of OR Connect service, we can see here that we are getting 100% test coverage, and all the error messages are also covered successfully. So I mean, here in this test class we actually covered the positive scenarios, we covered the negative scenarios, and we actually covered the whole complex service class that was performing three callouts one by one, and all callouts were interdependent, and we all did this without even creating a mock class by using HTTP callout framework. So I hope you like this tutorial, everyone. That's all for this, and in the next tutorial we'll be getting into the asynchronous callout part, which will be regarding the continuation class. So we'll see how we can perform asynchronous callouts from a Visualforce page and a lightning component using HTTP callout framework. So just let me know your feedback in the comments down below, and if you want to install the framework, I'll give the link in the description. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.